GTA San Andreas is honestly going to go down for me personally as one of my top three, top five favorite GTA games of all time. And even though I did finish that game not too long ago, I'm still like going back to it because of how much you can do and so much more content that's out there. And currently, right now, one of the things I'm still doing is trying to get all the girlfriends to be 100% with CJ. And this leads to today's video that I want to talk about, and that is breaking down one of the most infamous mini games that was discovered on GTA San Andreas with the hot coffee mini game. So, to get a little bit of a speed run boost of what is going on, this game, if you know how this works, that this is the first of its kind to introduce girlfriends. So CJ can basically be able to date a potential of six different girlfriends throughout the game itself. Some of them can give you some really cool perks, such as some really cool, unique outfits, really strong, really amazing vehicles that are unique to them, or even some of which that could be useful in game itself. And the way that it works when you're dating these girlfriends is pretty simple as it gets. It's pretty basic. You go on a date with them. If it's successful, then the girlfriend invites you to some hot coffee per se. And if you accept it, then essentially CJ goes for the nitty gritty and bada bing bada boom. It takes you to a cutscene where it's just, the house and it's just jumping the fuck up, and that's basically it. But in the original supposed planned game itself, for many people who were able to find this code that was hidden in San Andreas, there was actually a much more crazier minigame where after you successfully go on a really good date, you're then introduced to something like this. And in this one right here, you essentially see that CJ and one of the girlfriends here, in the case of Millie, is doing a little bit of a one step, two step kind of thing. And the goal for this mini game is to make them reach their excitement meter. Once their excitement meter is at an all time high, you successfully did it. You did it. You achieved like the imaginable. You achieved like the perfect hot coffee sex imaginable. And obviously, like if this was introduced in the original GTA San Andreas, obviously it would have been much more tedious. It would have been a huge waste of time. And for many GTA fans, including myself, it would be like, what? Don't get me wrong, I like the sex appeal and shit, but a mini game of just having sex in the game itself just was a bit much. And I guess it was a bit much, in fact, that it it resulted in tons and tons of lawsuits from GTA San Andreas to come on the way. Even the FTC got involved in this because they were now like debating about like what to do with games that were going in this caliber. Now, again, with that being said, can you play the hot coffee minigame right here, right now? Technically, yes, if you were able to modify the code for the GTA San Andreas that's available online for PC. But even then, like if you were to grab like an actual copy of Grand Theft Auto San Andreas for PS2, it's not possible. And what's pretty crazy to think about was that before all this even came to be, we did have, going back to like the GTA history, right? There was some explicit content from like Vice City, for example, where the closest you got to like nudity was like the strippers in that game. And like I said, like past that point when San Andreas's hot coffee was discovered, it was so bad, in fact, that the likes of Hillary Clinton at the time decided to step in and introduce the Family Entertainment Protection Act in response to the hot coffee scandal. And all of this was to basically, the whole excuse being like, oh, we're doing this because we have to protect our children from the really violent content that GT has to offer, and we gotta make it mandatory that the rating system needs to be mandatory and hold all these game developers accountable for what they've done. But in that response, in that way, like again, Rockstar clearly knew that they screwed up big time, given that they left the hot coffee codes in the game itself, and they weren't planning to release it for the final version, right? But imagine that, just releasing the final version of GTA San Andreas with the hot coffee mini game in its former glory. That would be so interesting. But luckily, this Family Entertainment Protection Act did not get through. It was not approved by the Congress, and as of right now, we got many GTA games come out past this point, thankfully. And what's kind of funny and crazy about this whole thing is that because of the craziness that the hot coffee minigame spewed in San Andreas, it has now been referenced in many GTA games past this point. Case in point, the biggest example of this is in GTA 4 with the Statue of Happiness, which, if you look really closely, you take a helicopter chopper and to the Statue of Happiness, or aka the Statue of Liberty, as many people like to call it, there is a face that looks pretty familiar, which 1 to 1, it looks like Hillary Clinton. And what is she holding? You guessed it, some hot smoking coffee. And I thought that was like really cool of a little like throwback and maybe a little Easter egg for many hardcore GTA fans to find. And then it was also referenced once more throughout GTA 5 with the numerous hot coffee banners, and even some characters like even interacted saying like, "Hey, you want to get some coffee? Want to get some hot coffee?" Every throughout the recent GTA games. I thought that was like a really cool little Easter to like showcase that, hey, Rockstar was aware of their mistake, their fuck up, and now it's become pretty synonymous in future GTA games from that point forward. But yeah, just wanted to simply yap and talk about this hot coffee minigame that was infamous in GT San Andreas, and this was probably the moment that actually honestly could have ended the Grand Theft Auto franchise if not for the fact that, luckily nothing like bad came happening at that point. But it was pretty clear that from this point forward, like the girlfriend mechanics past GT San Andreas was really like continuing to like dumb down a little bit, and it did like explicitly go super foreign to it. Yes, you do have like the sex cutscene that pops up in 4 and in 5, but like I said, it's similar to the San Andreas farm where it's just like you're just staring at the apartment or the house in the matter, and that's it. Nothing weird, nothing explicit is being shown. It's just like, hey, it's a mini game. What do you expect? But yeah, just wanted to talk about this hot coffee minigame, how infamous it was for its time, and how big it was. That, again, I highly recommend you guys checking it out for yourself. And that's about it. I'll see you on the next one. Later.